Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon solo video. Today we'll be using my favorite government agent, T Corp Otis. It's quite refreshing to finally receive a new identity who I believe to be perfectly average. She isn't nearly as overpowered as characters like Mao Faust, nor does she have a variety of problems like Felbull Yi Song. She is a perfectly serviceable identity who does her job of supporting Tremor quite well. Like all T Corp identities, the main reason you'd actually want to use her is for her unique status effect of Time Moratorium. This effect lingers on an enemy for 2 turns and absorbs all damage done while it's active to burst it all at the same time once it expires, giving around a 30% boost to the total damage. While all of the T Corp identities have access to this effect, how they apply it is slightly different. For both Otis and Rhodia, they need to be in the borrowed time state, a secondary status effect that provides haste, clash power, and fragile when they use their defense skill, in order to actually apply Time Moratorium. Don Quixote, on the other hand, is the only one who doesn't need to have borrowed time to apply it, giving her a slight edge over the others as she doesn't need to waste a turn using a defense skill and risk overriding her skill 3. Don Quixote and Otis also share the similarity of both being able to convert Tremor into the Chain Tremor type. However, I'd say that Otis does this substantially better than Don Quixote. I personally believe that Tremor Chain is perhaps the weakest of all of the different Tremor types that we currently have access to because its effect is particularly weak, only giving 3 extra clash power. If you have any of the other Tremor types, you would much rather have them applied to the enemy instead of Tremor Chain, which makes Don Quixote slightly harder to use, as in order for her to apply Time Moratorium, she also needs to convert Tremor into Tremor Chain. Otis, however, does not share this same problem because while she does have the ability to apply Tremor Chain, she, number 1, cannot apply it at the same time as Time Moratorium because they're located on different skills, and 2, if there is already a different Tremor type on the enemy, she is incapable of converting it into Tremor Chain. It gives her slightly more versatility when it comes to Tremor teams, because unlike Don Quixote, she won't ever ruin your strategy by forcing you to use the worst Tremor type in the game. Anyway, to start the run off, we take these starter buffs and find these ego gifts on the first floor of Dregs of the Manor before making it to the boss against the Dead Rabbits boss. Yeah, so this fight is incredibly easy when you have a decent identity like this one. You just pop an ego, stagger all of the dead rabbits, and then focus on the boss. Very, very easy. Honestly, Otis is... I don't know how I feel about her. She is strong, don't get me wrong, but... is she as powerful as the other T Corp identities? She's certainly stronger than Rhodia, that's for certain, but is she stronger than Don Quixote? I don't know. I don't think so. And the main reason for... why I say that is because she functions far more similarly to Rhodia than Dawn. And the reason why is how she inflicts Time Moratorium. Because she can't actually inflict Time Moratorium unless she's in the borrowed time state. Which is how Rhodia works, not Dawn. And Don Quixote doesn't need to be in the borrowed time state to inflict Time Moratorium, which gives her a little bit more versatility with actually, you know, triggering it. Like, it wouldn't really matter about the fact that she functions like Rhodia. She needs to be in borrowed time to get Time Moratorium. That wouldn't really matter if not for the specific line in her skill 3, which forces her out of the borrowed time state. Because she gets forced out of the borrowed time state, she cannot apply and then subsequently trigger Time Moratorium on 2 different turns. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal because you don't really want to be doing that unless you're doing like a specific challenge like the 10,000 damage or whatever. I don't know, it's just that line of her losing borrowed time automatically is just, I don't know, it just makes her kind of awkward to me. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to using her, you know? Maybe if I use her a lot more, I'll change my mind. We take the manor-shaped music box and pinpoint logic circuit for our reward before heading into To Be Crushed for the next floor. Here we buy Emerald Elytra, Nixie Divergence, wrist guards, and ornamental horseshoe, while also fusing the Book of Vengeance before making it to the boss against the robots. Ugh, not this fight. Yuck. Gross. I hate this fight. It's so boring. Anyway. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this identity. I really don't. She's like, she is cool. She's got a very nice aesthetic. I love the fact that her animations already have her, you know, moving really fast, despite the fact that she's not even in the borrowed time state. You know, it just goes to show that she's living in a different time, you know? So it's like, it's a very nice touch that I definitely appreciate. However, how she actually works is what I'm caught up on. Like, her infliction is fine, you know? She's got count on her skill 1, potency on her skill 2, also a bit of count on her skill 2. She doesn't really impact any of the different tremor types. And she does have a couple of tremor bursts here and there that definitely really help her out a lot, I think. But what's really like just catching me up, I guess, is her time moratorium. It's just, unlike the other two, it's just awkward, and it's specifically because her skill 3 has the line that says, her skill 3 specifically has the line that says, when you use this attack, she loses borrowed time. And I wouldn't really have a problem with that if it wasn't for the fact that she can only inflict time moratorium while she has borrowed time. So it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's like, it's not a real problem, but it is something that just makes her kind of slightly awkward. Because, like, right here, she can't activate time moratorium, you know? It's just sort of stuck there. And then on the next turn, too, she won't be able to activate it automatically either, because she needs to be in the borrowed time. It's just, there's just something a little awkward about it. I don't really know how else to explain it. Anyway, this guy's dead. We get to see big damage with time moratorium. However, we'll never be able to know the exact number because she can't trigger time moratorium automatically. Because it only lasts for 2 turns and she needs 3 turns. She can only apply it every 3 turns. That's the problem. That's what I take issue with. That time moratorium lasts for 2 turns, but she can only apply it every 3 turns. That's the thing that's just throwing me off with her. And it's why personally I think the other two are not necessarily better, but easier to use. We take Faith and Blood, Sweat, and Tears for our reward, while also receiving Grey Coat as a bonus, before heading into Hatred and Despair for the next floor. Here we buy Late Bloomer's Tattoo and an extra skill 3, before making it to the boss against the Knight of Despair. Alright, here's the plan. We're gonna try and basically insta-kill the Knight. Yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna try and insta-kill the knight. It's very doable. Because... time moratorium. It's gonna be hard, though. Because we're fatal to pierce damage. As long as we get slightly lucky with the queen here, it should be good. Nice. We needed that redirection. And then we need to get lucky with another redirection on the next turn, too. And with this clash. Oh, no. It's probably fine. It's probably still fine. Yeah, we're still fine. Nice. Queen's redirecting. Thank you. We want to keep stalling. Keep stalling. Keep stalling. Keep stalling until we can't stall any longer. We do not want to stagger the knight. We want to keep pushing it off and off and off. Get the insta-kill. Thank you for your service, Queen.
뛰어난 병사라도 적재적소에 쓰지 않으면 무위무능한 법. 정당한 공무집행이다.
Alright, now we just gotta keep track of the knight's stagger bar. Make sure we don't accidentally stagger her too early. Because if we do, we lose a lot of damage that way. It's also nice that this identity is kind of synergistic with the Bind's ego, because, you know, you inflict her with the... Oh no. No, Queenie. Oh no, Queenie. What have you done? God, that's so disappointing. I should have known. Paid more attention to the stagger bar. Like, she can only take like 200 damage before you get staggered. Oh well, insta-kill's not a thing. RIP. Absolutely possible. If I was better, paid more attention, but... can't have it all. At least it's pretty easy to play into the gimmick. Like, I've noticed this. I'm pretty sure that, for the knight's gimmick specifically, she has 3 different swords, right? One for each damage type. And basically the one that becomes vulnerable first is the one that you have the most damage type of, you know? So since we're exclusively a blunt identity, the blunt sword is vulnerable first. And that's just something I've noticed. It's nice because it makes the game, you know, slightly easier. It makes it slightly easier to actually, you know, beat the knight, because you don't need to... You're never going to be attacking an ineffective target, you know?
와, 엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸.
운명 속에 사무친 그대의 이름을 걸고 나 여기서 빛을 맹세한다. 있잖아. 사실
Is she a 2 skill slot type of character? I'm getting the feeling that she is.
정당한 공무 집행.
아쉽다.
최대전.
그치?
Yeah. Yeah, the more I play with her, the more I'm kind of seeing how you're supposed to do it. And she definitely feels like a 2 skill slot type character.
가속.
Where she basically plays by, you know, applying time moratorium on turn 1. Or I guess turn 2, because she needs to use the defense skill first. And then she loses it thanks to her skill 3, removing the borrowed time.
최대전.
So then on turn 3, she has to use her defense skill again to gain it back. And at that point, you know, the time moratorium ticks down and she can apply it again on the next turn. So it's like, I don't really like the fact that she can't trigger it herself, but
시원한걸? 전부 징수했으니.
ultimately there is no real problem with it. Alright, let's see how much damage we can do. Unfortunately, I have absolutely no way of being able to tell
나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을.
how much damage I need to do
이제 정말
in order to let the queen do it. So I guess actually there is. It's called don't attack at all. We have to let the queen finish her off, you know? That's the rule.
정당한 공무 집행.
야호. 이기는 편, 우리 편.
정당한 공무 집행. 가속.
Ooh, maybe a bit too much. No, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Yeah. Queenie gets the finishing blow, like always.
아르카나 레이. 당신 그래도 자, 악당 배치 성공. 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We take Reverberation and Broken Compass for our reward before heading to Murder on the Warp Express for the next floor. Here we find the 4-leaf clover and buy Green Spirit and an extra skill 3, while also fusing Downpour before making it to the boss against Cassetti.
얼간이들이 흥겨워하는군.
정당한 공무
Alright,
집행.
Mr. Cassetti. Time to die. Time to pay your time tax.
지겹군. 이 몸이 직접 손봐야겠네.
You owe quite a bit.
옳다.
저희에게도 이런
Wow,
힘을
okay.
베풀어 주시다니.
정당한 공무 집행.
Just using it again, speed through these early turns as quickly as possible, because why not?
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여 나갔어.
Might as well.
괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아?
지겹군.
이 기세로 계속
이 몸이
나아가 보자.
직접 손봐야겠네.
저 개체에게 큰 피해를 준 것 같아.
정당한
Doing this
공무
is easy enough as it is. Might as well blitz through it as quickly as possible, you know?
지겹군. 이 몸이 직접 손봐야겠네.
This is why Cassetti is probably like one of the easiest fights in the entire game.
그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군. 일처럼
You just pop an ego and all of his minions die.
집행한다.
Getting to him is kind of tricky because there's a lot of bleed, but the boss fight itself incredibly easy.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
Oh no, hold on a second. This isn't good.
완전히 멈춘다.
We don't have enough damage. And I'm in borrowed time. I don't want to be in... I guess it's fine. We need more skill slots anyways
이런
to
사소한 일에도 슬며시 따라오나
fight
봐요.
Cassetti.
정당한 공무 집행. 완전히 멈췄네. 생각한 시간은 전부 징수했으니 상관없지. 쟤네 고기라도
One
먹은
turn
거
left of
참
borrowed
기운이
time.
솟잖아.
Perfect. Hit him with the binds.
정당한 공무 집행.
to get him with the better tremor type.
최대 전. 집행한다.
완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸.
지겹군. 이 몸이 직접 손봐야겠는데.
I just love how Cassetti has a unique interaction with Time Moratorium. It definitely makes his fight like a lot more interesting than he is normally, because like this is probably one of the easiest fights in the whole game, like I said. So the fact that he does have a unique interaction with Time Moratorium makes him a little bit more interesting.
아, 여기선 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는군요.
최대 전. 집행한다.
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시.
I just wish that Otis, you know,
집행한다.
could actually trigger Time Moratorium herself, but alas. As I have mentioned many times in this video already, she cannot. The more I play with her, the less of an issue I have with it though, so. Because like 9 times out of 10, unless you're trying to specifically get the Time Moratorium to show up on the damage total, there's no reason you should trigger it manually. I'm very curious if we'll actually stagger Cassetti. Was using binds a complete waste? I think it was. I don't think we're staggering him.
무용하고 잘 어울려. 보면 아는 것을 상기시키는 연기가 무엇이야?
Oh, it didn't even kill. Oh, we didn't do enough damage. Now we have to waste another turn. We have to kill Cassetti with Time Moratorium. If we don't kill him with it, then what's the point? What is this? I rolled a 12, he rolled a 10. Why is he going first? I call absolute shenanigans on that, Cassetti. What are you doing going faster than me? We need to kill him with Time Moratorium. That's like the whole reason we did this in the first place. I'm not failing two different distinct challenges in a row, man. I guess using all these defense skills was kind of pointless. I kind of forgot that Time Moratorium would apply instantly. Oh well.
완벽하고 빈틈없이 모든 걸 손맞춰야 하지 않겠어?
This time he dies to it for sure. Oh hey, we staggered him. So yay. Binds isn't useless. We're doing more damage now. Her skill 3 animation is quite long. There we go. There's the corpse sprite. Can only get that with Time Moratorium. We take Red Order and the Bell of Truth for our reward before heading into time-killing time for the final floor. Here we buy the Silver Watch Case, Rusted Clock Hands, Etched Clock Hands, Interlinked Time, and Melted Eyeball, while also fusing Clear Mirror Calm Water before making it to the final boss against the Time Ripper.
저 개체가 기세등등해 보여요. 조금 주의하면서 해보는 게 좋을 것 같아요.
시간이 넘치잖아. 이리 내라. 500시간. 아니, 2000시간을 잘라내야 했어. 나 똑바로 해.
Voice lines. Nice. I love it. Now then, Time Ripper rerun fight. So far, looks pretty much identical. He probably has unbreakable coins somewhere in his kit. does a bunch of other stuff. He seems to be the same right now, though. So, yeah, not a whole lot to go off of just yet.
정당한 공무 집행.
I'll try no ego. I like to try no ego, like all the time.
벌써 버벅이나?
I do like his voice though. He does have a nice voice.
때보다 정말 강해지셨네요. 매일 보아왔는데도 지금은 감회가 새로워요.
Like this is the problem, right? It's like you can't really do the Time Ripper no ego, because his robots are just the bleed damage. It's too bad. Yeah, there we go. Unbreakable coins. I knew it. They just gave him unbreakable coins. Clash lose, deal minus 80 damage, and this skill cannot stagger the target. This one can though.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
Yeah, they just kind of gave him unbreakable coins, didn't they? Have to use that. Like, as much as I don't want to, I kind of have to, because also mutilate getting unbreakable coins is kind of interesting, because that's the AoE attack. His biggest threat now is the bleed damage, I'm pretty sure. You gotta be very wary of that.
우리 쪽에 유리한 환경이 되었네.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
Alright, let's see what his phase 2 is like. I'm pretty sure we trigger it here.
가속.
나는 다른 선배들처럼 복잡한 생각을 잘 못하니까 이럴 때 경험은 안 되지만 저럴 때 선배였다면
I don't know if you heard it there, but there is a bug on this floor with this identity in particular, where I'm pretty sure it's a bug with this floor, where when she enters her borrowed time, she kind of does it twice. She does the animation twice. She does it at the end of the turn and then at the start of the next turn. It kind of got overwritten by the Time Ripper's phase 2 animation, but you could hear her dialogue line with the borrowed time if you paid attention there.
오늘도 즐거운 하루의 시작이네. 그렇지?
Alright, what do we got here? More unbreakable coins? Yeah, same skills. Extraction, mutilate. They just gave him unbreakable coins. That's basically all they did. Maybe he has some unique passive or something, but he's got voice lines and unbreakable coins, and that's it.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
We might get staggered here.
벌써 버벅이나?
Probably not. No, I don't think so. Not with that stagger. I was kind of worried about this mutilate, but it's fine. Because his extraction skill, that can't stagger, it said, but the mutilate can. As long as you win the clash anyway.
집행한다.
Yeah, see right there, she does it twice. I don't know why she does that. It's a weird bug that only happens on this floor specifically.
정당한 공무 집행이다. 가스 벌써 버벅이나? 최대 전기. 집행한다.
Yeah, that wasn't really any harder. They just slapped a few unbreakable coins on him and called it a day. Exactly what I thought.
내일도 꼭 불러주기야.
승자는 시간을 관리하며 살고 패자는 시간에 질질 끌려가며 사는 법. 오늘 출근길 조간신문에 있던 문구다. 참으로 시적절하지 않나?
And that's how I beat Mirror Dungeon 6 hard using only T Corp Otis. Initially, when I started using her, I thought she was slightly awkward due to her forced expulsion of borrowed time, but the more I kept playing, the more I realized my issues with her were mostly unfounded. She only needs to be in borrowed time for a single turn to apply time moratorium once. Sure, it sucks that you'll never see the big damage numbers on her unless a different identity inflicts time moratorium first, but that damage is done regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's it from me. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Goodbye!